we pick our story back up in the middle of a pretty tumultuous situation. And I'm sort of unsure as to where I want to start, because 2/3 of our group are currently in the throes/aftermath of a pretty gnarly explosion, and the other one is preparing to make a pretty difficult choice. I think we'll start with Callista, and the situation unfolding on your side of the of the Dusklight circus. So to put this into perspective, you are going to have to figure out a way to deal with Faye while saving Flebs and Wendy.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. What would you like to do?
Well, I think it is safe to say that I do not intend to fight her traditionally, which is to say, just go in slashing, because I don't want to kill her. I wouldn't want to anyway, but I also did make a bond with Muldoon about it, so okay. I'll tell you what I want to do, and you can tell me what I'm allowed to do.
Okay,
From
sure. That sounds fair.
What I'd like to do is try to, first of all, I'd like to try to incapacitate her rather than kill her, of course. Can I do that by, using my wings to go behind her and, like, kind of... This sounds really dark. I use the handle of my scythe, like, against her neck to, like, kind of make her go unconscious.
You want to try and knock her out? Yeah, I mean, you can try.
That's what I want to do.
So it'd be
I'm gonna try.
That'd be an act under pressure roll.
Okay. Alright,
okay.
So, like...
So I'm going to give you the option here that you can do it, but it will come at a cost.
Yes.
So if you want to do this, then it will be a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay. So I'll give you the option to simply say that you don't do it, or then you'll take a shot. Or if you still want to do it, then tell me which one of those three you want.
I think it'll be worse if I don't do it. So I'm gonna do it and say price to pay.
Okay. Okay. What happens is you take her by surprise and you fly around and you strike her in the back of the neck incredibly forcefully with the butt of the rifle. And she goes like her head goes down for a minute, and then she twitches, and you see her body change. And you see the horns protrude. And you hear a crack in her neck. And she says, "Well, that's certainly a way to get woken up, being beaten on by a beautiful woman. You want to step on me again sometime? You only need to ask." And she turns round and she volleys a single punch into your stomach that is so strong it wins you, and you drop your rifle and you take 2 harm.
Okay.
So
fine.
you've knocked out Faye, but you have gotten Ballista's attention. She's woken up within Faye's body.
Right. Honestly, I shouldn't have expected that.
Okay. Flebs, you are still semi-drowning. If you want to get out of this, you're going to need to, again, tell me how you get out of it, because I'm not just going to let you roll to get out of it. What do you do to get out of this situation? And then we'll roll for it.
Do you get out of floating bubble of...
I don't know, buddy. It's a puzzle. You got to figure it out. I can't always fill in the blanks for y'all.
Let me see here.
Our listeners are already probably sick of me doing that.
I will use the recoil from my sniper rifle.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. You're
Shoot
what?
myself out of the bubble.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
I'll stick the rifle. What other options? I can't swim out of the bubble.
Okay.
I'm just sorry. I'm in shock that you have a sniper rifle. Is
Oh,
this
yeah,
a new?
Flebs has new weapons. He switched.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. I was like, this has never been used before. Am I wrong? All right.
You're
Yeah.
wrong.
Fuck it.
So I stick the sniper rifle out of the bubble of water and I shoot.
Just don't shoot me.
And yeah, I won't. I shoot up.
Okay. Roll
I
act
roll
under
for that.
pressure.
Is that a cool roll? I hope so.
No, it's an act under pressure roll. Actually, might be cool.
It
Yeah,
uses.
sorry.
This is cool.
Sorry,
it
yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Neat.
Okay.
No,
So,
literally the same role as me. Okay.
Yeah, so, again, same thing. You can do it with a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay.
Price to pay.
No one ever chooses hard choice. Price to pay.
Okay, fine.
It's
Hard
No,
Scary.
no.
It's
It's okay. It's all right. You
I
don't.
was afraid if I chose hard choice, you'd make me choose between Flebs and Wendy or something. I was like,
No. It's all right, Flebs. You can stick to yours for now. But I want you to all think about hard choice in the future. Price to pay. So you will get out of this. But as you drop to the floor, Wendy bum rushes you and is holding you against the dunk tank. And you see her eyes are in the back of her head, and this water is sloshing in her mouth and sort of rummaging around her body like she's being controlled. You are going to have to contend with Wendy while Callista deals with Ballista. But you are going to have a -1 on your rolls while you're fighting Wendy, Flebs.
Okay.
Okay, Faye / Ballista. I know what she's going to do. Let's see if she does it. Okay. She still has you draped over her fist. And she takes her other hand and wraps it in a pretty caustic kind of water, like it's almost like it's been super boiled. And then it's almost like a reddish tinge around it. And she volleys that at your face and lets the steam out as well.
oof.
And it is gonna burn something fierce. That's gonna do another 2 harm, but you will be able to get a shot off at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, my main issue is that I promised not to hurt either of them. So, well, I didn't promise. Okay, I promised not to kill either of them.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, did she punch me?
She hit you in the stomach first. That was her first shot.
Yes.
And it winded you. So think of like an anime sort of like, you know, punch where like, you know, they go straight for the breadbasket and they're almost like hunched over. And then she's taken her other hand, so that was with her right hand, and with her left hand she has superheated this ball of water and has thrown it at you, and the steam and the heat is going over your like your neck, shoulder. It's burning you.
Okay, but she's close to me though. Then,
oh yeah, she's literally right in front of you. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
She does that, and she's like she's licking her lips as she looks at you, and she's like, I love the fact you're draped over my fist. I knew you could take a good fisting, Callista.
Oh god. Oh my god.
This is revenge. This is revenge what you put me through when you played Ballista. I want you to know that right now.
All right. Okay. This is the character you made up first and then allowed me to play. I think that was on you.
Oh, you're blaming me. Okay. Will you blame God for all his creations? Is that how it works?
Oh my god.
Well, Ballista kind of did, but that's fine. All right. Well, I want to try to knock her out again. I guess I've kind of got the same strategy though. Like I've got the shotgun, so I'm just gonna try to hit her again.
Okay.
Is that another act under pressure, or is that kick some
No,
ass?
that's kick some ass.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So describe how this looks.
Okay. Ballista says that, and Callista, like, does the, like, head tilt look, and is, like, just visibly confused, trying to figure out what that means. And then she, another expression flashes over her face, where it seems like she just doesn't care. Like, she's like, alright, I'm not gonna try to figure that out. And then she just immediately, like, takes the shotgun flipped upside down, and just, like, aims it, like, under her chin, basically.
Okay.
Knock her backwards and hopefully knock her unconscious.
How much harm does that do?
Well, the shotgun itself does 3, but that would be like shooting with a bullet. I don't know how much harm the handle does.
On an 11, I'll probably say it does too.
Okay.
It doesn't knock her out though.
Okay.
But it doesn't. It doesn't have to. She's staggered though for a moment.
Okay. All right, I'll take it.
Wendy is going to act next. Just because Flebs, you are at a disadvantage.
Okay.
I think it's just going to be. I think we'll just keep it really simple, as I have a lot to juggle on this session, so I don't want to overcomplicate it. Okay, so she's effectively going to try and she's gonna try and, like, how do I explain this? She's gonna try and knock you out almost, like, by slamming your head through the dunk tank glass. But obviously on an 8, that would be a price to pay, and I'm gonna say that when she does that, you'll take 2 harm, but it will put you in prime position to get an attack of opportunity on her. So you're going to be rattled as fuck, but she's going to be distracted enough by the success of what she's done where you'll have 2-3 seconds to respond, basically, Flebs.
Okay. So
but you take 2 harm, though.
Respond.
Yeah.
Okay. I will bust out my shotgun
Okay.
and shoot.
So
Shotgun.
in that case,
Well, I can't kill her.
your sniper is going to be you cannot carry. Because the thing is, I'm trying to visualize how you're carrying all these weapons. If you are pulling out a shotgun, your sniper is going to be out of play. Because I don't know how you would keep all of it together.
Say my 9mm then. It
Okay.
needs to be holstered.
Okay.
Kick some ass.
And what are you? Where are
I'll
you shooting on
shoot
her?
in the leg.
Leg. Okay.
Hopefully
Okay.
Not hit an artery.
Flebs, really quick. So you went from a juju bag and a ritual knife to 3 guns? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Flebs is now the
Just
professional.
We haven't
Okay.
really talked about it in the story yet.
I miss the old Flebs. I miss the flamethrower Flebs.
Yeah. The flamethrower, juju bag, and ritual knife
Yeah.
is just 3 different types of guns. That's crazy.
Yeah. Let's see. Kick some ass. Where did you go? -1.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
No. You go for the gun, and she oh buddy, she sees it and she grabs your arm, and she oh yeah, she knees your elbow, but the wrong way, and your arm snaps.
Or extend.
Yeah, your right arm is broken. And you take another 2 harm. Callista.
No. I'm just gonna try to knock her out again. I can't kill her. And I don't have any other, like, moves that would help this situation, so...
Alright, so she's looking at you, as she's, like, kind of stumbling back, and she's like, oh, honey, this human form's cute, but I like someone a little bit darker, with a little bit of leather, a little bit of a goth mommy thing. How about you stop pussying around, and you show me what you can really do, huh?
I want to say that Callista wouldn't rise to the bait, but I think she would. Yeah, sure. She'll go into her eldritch form.
All right, give me a cool roll. Okay. You'll have relative control for a couple turns.
Cool. Okay. Alright, what I want to do is I want to try... Oh no, she's gonna like this! Damn it! I want to try to, use the handle of my scythe, like the long handle, and, instead of the shotgun, and to push it on her neck to try to, like... Shit, she's gonna like this. I want to try to choke her, like suffocate her.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, I guess that'll be that'd be a what? Like act under pressure roll, I guess?
Yeah, either act under pressure or kick some ass again. I guess either one, really.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I'll do act under. They're both the same, so. Oh shit! I'm really middle of the road rolls for me right now.
All right.
Yeah, literally.
All right. What do you want to go for on these 3 choices?
Oh right. Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna shut it on kick some ass. I forgot about the choice. Worst outcome?
Okay.
That was probably a bad idea. That's fine.
All right. How do I want to do this? A worse outcome, yeah.
Maybe, like, okay, I'm second guessing it already.
No,
I don't want
sorry.
to kill her. I just don't want to kill her. I just don't want to kill her.
All right,
That's
no.
what I don't want to kill her.
It's fine. It's been said, so that's what we're going with.
Yeah, that's fine. Just
You are choking her, like, and she falls down to her knees and she starts drooling and she's kind of giggling. And, you know, typical choke me mommy sort of thing. And,
sure.
But here's the thing, Callista. you lose control of yourself.
Okay.
And in the moment that she's looking up at you, she laughs and she says, "Oh, there are certainly worse ways to go out, aren't they, honey?" And she puts her hands on yours and she jerks them to the left and her neck snaps.
What?
And we will come back to that in a moment.
Bro!
So, gang, on the other side, you are dealing with the flash of a set of bombs that have gone off, and I believe all of you failed your sharp rolls. Which means all of you are taking 3 harm. And you're all stunned as fuck. Let's go to Jimmy first. Jimmy, you are currently unconscious. And probably in a bit of a fugue state. Where does your mind go in this sort of situation?
I think Jimmy's mind would go back to just remembering not bad memories. I guess it would probably go to his closest, like when he was given his honorary teacher spot at the academy and stuff, and his toast with Pink Gunkerson, and him able to speak to another Sasquatch by being able to speak to Waylon, and that he hadn't got because he hasn't been able to speak to another Sasquatch in a long time. So so I wouldn't say it would be in a bad place right now, but he is just off, like I said, thinking about, or in lost in, or I guess would be a dream state or whatever you would want to call it, about what it was like to be able to communicate with someone that was like him again.
Do you try and reach out for anybody? Do you try and manifest someone in this almost astral plane?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
This is gonna be weird as shit. But I would like to try to manifest. I guess not weird, but I guess I'll go with Pink Gunkerson.
Okay. I won't make you roll for that. This is your dream space. You after thinking for a minute in this liminal space, you manifest Paint. Where are you? Like around you? What's the little, like just a small little area around you in this darkness?
We are at Pink Gunkerson's Paint Accessories and Emporium.
All right. Let's change the scenery then. Let's take things back a little bit here. Let's go back to the past. Samurai Jack. Here we go. Yeah, you're in Paint Gunkerson's Paint Accessories and Paint Emporium. And Paint is at the desk, waiting for you. What do you do?
I'll walk up to the desk and extend my hand to Paint Gunkerson for a handshake.
Welcome to Paint Gunkerson's Paint Accessories and Paint Emporium at... Oh, hey, Jimmy. What's going on?
Oh, I guess it's nothing good from where I'm at now. I mean, it's been, I was at the circus, and now I'm here, so I'm guessing it's nothing in a good way.
Yeah, this is a Paint Purgatory. All followers of Paint, they come here, and you gotta wait and see if you go up, you go down, or you go sideways. Here's your number. You hold on to that, and when it comes up on the big paint screen, you go towards the door. It tells you to. There'll be a little color marker on there, and you get a little like one of those deli meat slips, and it says 929 on it, and you see that the 3 exits have different colors. The sideways has a soft yellow. The up has a nice blue, and the down has a sharp tone of red. And yeah, he says, hopefully you'll find out soon. Y'all need anything on some paint?
That would be great right now, paint. I appreciate it.
All right. What kind of paint y'all need?
Well, since I don't know where I'm going yet, if I'm going up, down, or sideways, how about just something to calm the nerves?
Yeah, okay. We got a Valium paint. That's fine. That's fine. I'll put in some marshmallow paint in there as well, so you can get a good flavor. Hang on a second. And he steps under the table and just starts he effectively like you hear rummaging, and then he comes back up with this ramshackle paint can and hands it to you and says, yeah, you have some of that, you'll feel right as rain.
Jimmy will take the paint and turn it bottoms up, and then hand it back the paint can back to Paint Gunkerson.
Okay. You feel a little bit calmer almost immediately. It seems to have a profound effect on calming your mind as you wait around. Is there anything else you want to do in this space?
Nope. I'm gonna go and wait for him to call my number.
All right. Fala, what's going on in your head at the moment?
You know, I think that since this is Fala's kind of like probably one of the times she's gotten more injured or closer to actually getting really hurt or something, she's probably thinking about her family right now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think just kind of remembering, I would almost imagine that she would like have this flashback instead of just everything back before everything happened and started going wrong, and just I don't know.
Okay.
But
is there anyone
yeah,
that you talk to
sorta...
in that space?
I think if she were to talk to anybody, it'd be her grandfather, because he was the time traveler. But
what was his name again? Do you remember what we named him?
I have it. Yeah, hang on. Let me pull it up. It's in all my notes. Let's see. Grandfather's name was Fion.
Fion. And where are you with Fion?
We're in the time machine, but it's not the clinic, because I turned it into the clinic myself. It's more of an actual like engineering time travel laboratory still.
Okay. Is Fion I would assume Fion would be Irish, whereas other members of the family would be American. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah.
Or would you say that he would be American?
So.
Okay. So,
yes.
Fion and you are working on a project. Do you know what it would be, like what you would be working on with him, like at the late hours in the garage?
No, I don't have an idea specifically.
I
I know.
think it would be a I think I know what it is. It's late at night, and it's maybe 4 or 5 months before the incident where you would have to leave. And he's tinkering away in the garage, and he's standing over like a workbench, and he's talking with the Council of Spiders. You hear him just sort of mumbling away as he's like tinkering and kind of like brushing some of their things aside. He hears you and says, "Oh, hiya, Fala. You can't sleep, eh? I know that feeling. What's on your mind?" And obviously, this is present day Fala in the memory. So speak your truth.
Yeah, huh? God, Grandpa, I don't just. It's been so much, and I don't know even where to start. But I guess what's been on my mind is how. How to I guess I don't even know what I'm supposed to do here, and I don't even know what I'm doing here. I just know that the future and the alternative is so unthinkable, but I just don't even know what the right path is and what I should be even doing to help make sure things change the way that they should.
Right. Well, that is a bit of a scary situation to be in. Let me show you what I'm working on. I found this little fella in one of the junk piles over by Golgothan Bridge. I don't know what he does, but I know he's old. Very, very old, in fact. Like a strange black box of sorts. Looks like he's severely damaged. If I can get him working, I would imagine if there's any sentience in him, he's not going to know what to do, where to go. But how much do you want to bet he'll figure it out with enough time and guidance?
I suppose.
Let me show you. I'm nearly done. The council's been bloody brilliant giving me ideas. And he does some tweaking, and you look over at this little obsidian sphere, which has been damaged completely through the center. And the slit lights up, and it begins to float. And it blinks and says, Where am I? Who are you? Where is Callista? And
oh my god.
Your grandpa just kind of chuckles and says, he must be missing his mother, or someone close to him. But
something like that.
This little fella, I would estimate, based on what I know, must be very, very old, Callista. Very, very old indeed. But he has a purpose, as all things do. And we're going to find it together. Jericho.
Yes.
Where are you in your safe space?
Probably like back in his schooling days, them off with, well, like in the classroom with Nish, Dennis, Ruger, and the cot.
Okay. to avoid repeating the same sort of scene too quickly from a couple sessions ago, you are told that a substitute teacher's coming in. And everyone around you sort of becomes muted. And a young woman walks through the door. I'm going to give you a visual description of her. And I'll pop this in our chat. So she looks like this. She has, she actually skateboards in, I should say. She's got blue hair tied up in space buns, thick circular rim glasses, wearing tech wear, looks to be in her mid-20s at oldest, does an ollie off the desk, and then kick flips back down to the ground, and she turns around and looks at all of you and says, "Sup? I'm your substitute teacher. My name's Freya. It's good to meet you. If you're here, you're kind of fucked. So, let's talk about it." And she walks over to the board and puts "Kinda Fucked 101. Let's go for the stuttering wonder over there. You, yeah." And she points to you, Jericho.
Me?
Yeah. You? Yeah, I'm talking to you, buddy. Let's talk to the would-be fractal king. Jericho Branch, I believe your name is?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you come up here and tell me how you ended up part of Fucked 101?
Okay, he walks to the front and
You hear like the whole
says,
class going like, ooh.
"Hi, this class was on my curriculum. I walked through that door over there.
What
before that, I
door?
was in the hallway. He turns to where a door would be, and I guess the door's not there.
Nope, no door.
Okay, that part was a lie.
Mm-hmm. What curriculum?
The moth curriculum, Miss Freya, moth things, moth.
What the fuck is a moth? You talking about the insect?
Vaguely.
That's interesting, Jericho, because we're, buddy, we're not in a school. Take a look. And you are standing in the middle of the air, looking down on a cabin in the middle of the woods. And she puts a hand on your shoulder and says, do you know where we are?
I thought I did.
Okay. Well, how did you end up here? Fucked 101.
Gee, I don't care for a second. This is like, the character's still supposed to know like that he was just in a fight like a few minutes ago, right? Or
Oh, I'm sure
a
he
second
could.
ago.
I mean, you're all concussed, so I'm leaving that up to you. I think you can decide for yourselves how much you know.
Okay.
I
There
would
was a
assume you
fight.
did, yeah.
There was a fight. That part is true.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure-ish.
I mean, Ish is good. It's one step away from Nish. And I heard a rumor that you like her.
We should move right back along to the how we
You so do. What do the kids say? Oh, you're down bad.
We should really move back along. That's how we were slowing the sky.
Okay, all right.
You're like a licensed like substitute, like you have a teacher's license and all that.
I have an education license. Yeah. You're not in a classroom, though, Jericho. Don't know if you've realized that yet, but... Continue.
I take it this is one of those hallucination events, right? Like I've gotten my ass beat so severely that I am imagining something that did not happen.
Maybe.
And being thrilled by my imagination.
Would you like me to tell you if it's your imagination or not?
I mean, yeah. I mean, yes. Miss,
Okay.
Freya, Miss
She
Freya.
slaps you really hard.
And
it hurts.
So like a yes or no was just completely out of the question. Just
You asked me to prove it to you, so I did. This is astral projecting, my friend. Sort of
I don't think
astral
where prove it
projecting.
was ever said. I just think I asked just the right answer. But yes, okay.
There's the Jericho branch charm. I've heard a lot about it. Does it
How?
really work as well as, like, people say it does? Are you really the reason that Babylon Stump just became an obsessed freak for a long time? You know he was never destined for that, right? His path was supposed to go a completely different direction before he met you.
What?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, Miss Freya, to answer your question, I did not know that. Not sure how I would have.
Well, I guess you wouldn't. I was sort of just, making conversation while you got your memory back. No, Babylon was, he would have been one of the greatest detectives of Sturgeon. For his limited abilities, granted, but he was still pretty remarkable. And then he met you. And his whole world changed. And he realized he was a very small fish in a very big pond. However, losing his fractal abilities might have been the best thing that could have happened to him.
I don't follow to be mundane. It's one of the best things that could have happened to him. He wasn't a bad spell slinger. Wasn't in hell like you when Franklin started, he was ranked higher than me, so couldn't have been doing it all not well.
True, but had he kept on the path he was going, he'd be dead by now.
You know what? Fair. He was being drowned. Fair.
No,
fair.
No, you misunderstand. Hang on. She waves a hand and the scene changes, and you see Babylon, Ballista, Ung, Tay Flebs, and Jolene, and the entire Dream Team being pulled into the center of a grand pit, and they are slaughtered one by one. Yeah, that right there, that's what happens if Jericho Branch and the Nightmare Detectives don't meet the Dream Team.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's That's a lot.
Yeah, it's not great.
You know what? You are heard loud and clear. Yes, Babylon is way better for knowing. I'm gonna say the Nightmare Detectives. Saying me just sounds weird, you know.
You still don't know where we are, do you?
If I asked you to tell me, would you?
You can make a roll to find out. Okay.
Okay, so I tried and it failed.
No, that's a manipulate someone. I meant a sharp roll. Sorry, I should have been clear.
Oh,
Yeah, she looks at you and says,
use the same thing though.
No. Maybe you should take a closer look. And no, so just give me a sharp roll. Okay. You are able to make out some familiarities. And on an 8, she kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and says, when was the last time you were in a cabin in the middle of the woods, Jericho?
Well, the specified cabin. There was this radio station back in Hotel Inertia. There was a time when I was a kid, like train with my uncle. There was
Okay. Let's take a better look. You're floating down. The scene changes so you can sort of see this cabin, and you float down a little bit. You're still a couple of 100 feet in the air, and you see a winged creature jump out the window and dive towards a frightened yet strikingly handsome individual in the grass who produces a spell that stuns them. Is it coming back to you yet?
I remember. Wait, can you replay that? Can you replay that? Just one more time. I just want to see it again.
Is it? Are you not understanding what you're seeing right now? Do you think this is a movie?
Yes. It's the time I shot Callista. It was when we first met. So we became like really close friends. We bonded over that.
It doesn't strike you as odd that you're standing in your own memory.
I try to like taper my expectations for the moment. Like after seeing like a random like kind of insane guy bash Nole's head in with a rock, I've kind of like tried to just expect anything. After I change a scene, open a portal, go through a door.
Okay. Well, let me take this a little bit further back. Jericho, do you think...
So we're not going to replay that?
We will not be replaying that right now, buddy. No. Maybe if you're really good and you do really well in the next fight, I'll replay it for you. Jericho, let's cut the bullshit. Would you do anything differently if you had the option to? Do you believe your life has always been in your control?
No, obviously not. I, as a kid, didn't want to be didn't obviously want to be a spell slinger. I just kind of wanted to do kid shit. I eventually learned to to have like a social life and like people after some people let them off. But a lot of the training shit was not for me. Didn't want to be a sentinel and have some really cool people, really amazing people in my life who helped me get out of that for a time. But all those things were temporary, and I end up either having to face them all over again or having to suffer for ignoring them in some way.
And if you would do anything different, what would it be?
Stashing a gun, I think it'd been really funny if I threw a rock at Callista and she kind of like a biplane kind of crashed to the ground. But on a serious note, no, I do nothing different.
And if I told you that your path you're on now was dictated by someone else, would that bother you?
There was no way for me to have control over it again.
Okay.
Or ever, I guess.
Interesting. Let me show you something. And she swipes her hand and rewinds the events back by about an hour. And you see your body being dropped onto the grass. But what is strange, Jericho, is it's dropped out of nowhere. Like, you just appear and you're dropped there. And And Freya says, "Oh, hang on. Let's zoom and enhance, and we'll slow it down since you really love replays. Just one moment." And
I don't feel like you should be able to use that against me, but okay.
And frame by frame, you see a door open in the middle of the air, and you see Fala drop you out of the door and onto the ground before closing it.
Okay, Freya, context, please.
Are you gonna wisecrack again? Make a funny joke, or are you gonna take this seriously?
They weren't. I'm taking it serious.
Okay, let's take a walk. And you drop down to the ground, and everything is paused. And you walk through the house, and you see, moment by moment, as Freya keeps letting this play out, you see the door open and Fala putting each one of you in the house in various positions. And as you're walking around these paused moments, you see the level of distress on Fala's face. She is crying, or she has been crying, and she is wounded. And Freya says, "This path has been determined for you by someone else. It is one route of many. And you just reached what we call a juncture point, Jericho. Because right now, your life, the lives of your friends, and the lives of your loved ones is in flux. And there is a chance, coming very soon, where you could change the path permanently. And I'm asking you because I'm curious to see what your answer would be, without knowing how you got here, without wondering why you don't remember getting there, why none of you remember getting there. Doesn't it strike you as odd that not a single one of you knows the intervening weeks, months, before you were dropped here?
You never discussed it.
You never discussed it.
I always...
And you never wondered why?
I'd always assumed before you joined my actual body that it was just a part of the amnesia. I never asked if they knew anything beyond that point.
Jericho, the reason I'm here right now is to show you part of this and to hopefully help build your path forward, because this has gone on for a long time, and you've been operating outside the spaces of fate, if you will, for too long. And I felt it was right to give you some context.
Who are you?
Give me a weird roll.
Got an 8.
Okay. She smiles, and the scene fades away, and there's a few moments that play out in front of you. The first is a young Flebs being taken away from his family, and then the look on his face. Well, actually, it's like a slideshow. Then it's him getting kneed in the face when he wakes up. getting shocked by Everett, spat in the face by Mr. Sticky as everyone laughs, and telling funny jokes, and the compilation of him walking into 19-year-old girls' rooms, and then it goes to his face crying as Nautilus tells him what he really is. And then it goes to him feasting on Wayland, and then you see a live shot of him with his arm being snapped by Wendy. And then it jumps to Jimmy being beaten and extradited and ostracized by the community, falling in love with Tracy, coming home and finding her dead, wandering, nearly beating Flebs to a pulp, giving big, beautiful speeches and even bigger hugs to his comrades, smashing on the bubble as Callista makes her choice.
A snap.
Yeah, okay, you're well so that too. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
We disappeared for a minute.
Okay.
You see,
Okay.
you go to Chewy, and you see him beating Flebs like to a pulp accidentally. You see him having these beautiful moments with his friends, and you see him raging and training with Wendy, and you see him smashing on the bubble as Callista makes her choice, and you see the pain. And then you see Callista. You see her being ferried as a baby across time and space by a gargantuan pillar version of Capri. You see her being taken into the arms of these strange angelic beings and being given a name by what you would assume is a Abrahamic god. And you see her fighting, and you see her growing, and you see her losing, and you see her falling in love. You see her killed, you see her go back again, live an old life, and you see her die. You see the deal she cuts with Lady Death. You see the awkwardness in her exchanges with all of you when she first meets you, the way that you guys, almost sibling rivalry, argue with each other. And you watch her grow. In front of you, body language, cadences, tone. You watch this remarkable individual soften and become comfortable. And where there was scowling, there is smiling. Where there was resentment, there is happiness and laughter. And you watch her heart break as Margot is taken away. And the changes she goes through. And the way that she looks after Capri and looks after her friends and Muldoon and Faye, and you see her snapping the neck of Ballista in Faye's body. And then you remember Margot. You remember Margot looking after the group, always willing to put herself in the firing line, carrying Pink Gunkerson on her back, willing to stand up to anybody, taking Callista to the shooting range, taking Callista to Dr. Good Doctor's clinic. And then you remember how she left. In fact, you don't really remember the details because you weren't there. And for the first time, you see as she walks into the open arms of her husband, taken away by Michael. And then you see you. The shivering, crying boy who accidentally lightning strikes his uncle. The training you went through. The friendships you made. The love you had. The fear. The hours, weeks you spent in the library with Endicott. Endicott, of course. How could you forget Endicott? Who now is on the verge of death. And the memory splits and you see moments of Endicott's life. The constant defenses of Sturgeon, the the rapping, the awkward dancing, the terrible jokes, the computer dust, all of it meshed together. And you see that party that was held for you. And it all moves forward. And you see a set of lights that run from each one of you as your faces are put in front of you like a big screen. And the lights all converge on a central point. And Fala says, Freya says, I'm one of the Fates. My name is Freya. And I thought you were overdue a little bit of help. When you need me most, when this is all over, just call for me. I think we're overdue a little talk. And your vision goes dark. Okay, so after that mild reveal of, not a big secret, we're gonna jump back to Callista for a moment. Callista, obviously, what's just happened. I'd like to know what your response is to that.
Well, shock. I think it's safe to say. And Callista immediately withdraws her scythe and just kind of stares down at her in surprise. But I think she also realizes that whether or not Faye / Ballista just died, they're still in a situation. She looks up and she sees Flebs' arm being snapped by Wendy.
You've also heard an explosion in the background as well.
And that.
That would have happened around the same time.
Okay, great. So yeah, I think she, as heartless as this sounds, I think she kind of has to process this like a fighter, where she's like, okay, one threat temporarily at least down, I'm gonna deal with that later, and it's everybody else is in trouble still, so she's not gonna take a ton of time to she has her own powers that she can use to hopefully sort that out when we get to it, but as of right now, she can't do that now, because if she were to die doing it, then she would leave everybody behind. So I guess my point is, she is going to take a second to have that whole thought process, and then she's going to get up and try to help Flebs.
Okay. Yeah, sure. What would you like to roll to help Flebs?
Can I use Never Again in this situation?
Yeah, explain that to me. Just read out what the move is for me.
In combat, you may choose to protect someone without rolling as if you had rolled a 10+, but you may not choose the option suffer little harm.
Oh, that's fine, yeah. Although when you look over, Wendy just drops to the ground. She is not actively fighting him anymore.
Right, because Faye, great, cool, alright. Never mind,
just to save you from, rolling necessarily. But I would say
I wouldn't have to roll for that. That's just like an automatic success.
Flebs is on the ground though. I think when you have your arm fucking snap like that, I think Flebs is likely in shock.
Normally.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay.
You were standing,
in that case,
Mm-mm.
No.
I said I'm not just standing.
No.
Normally.
No.
Right. Okay. Well,
I think you're sitting against the dunk tank. I think you're sitting. You're just kind of just white, you know, white as a sheet, staring into space. When I've broken a bone, like, it's sort of everything sort of just sort of fades around you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think first, I would like to check to make sure Wendy's not, like, actively drowning anymore.
Okay.
Because that seems like a possibility still,
Sure.
even if Faye's not keeping the water there, like, she still probably had water in her mouth and stuff like that, so.
Mm-hmm.
I want to flip Wendy over and just, I guess, just make sure she's not drowning.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, give me a roll.
Would that be sharp?
If you're looking at her body, then it would be... No, I think just sharp.
Okay.
7.
Whew. Just barely not failing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, like, she looks fine. Like, the water's like kind of leaving her body now, and she's just sort of inert.
Okay. Can I tell if she's breathing?
Yeah, she's breathing.
Cool. All right. Man, okay. Callista will turn to Flebs next then. And again, just sort of evaluate his situation, but I'm assuming it's pretty obvious his arm is broken, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't need to roll for that. His arm is
right.
bent in a way it shouldn't be bent.
Sure.
The bone is, like, poking out a little bit as well.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, she kind of is, like, crouched beside him, and she says, shit. Flebs, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So chill. So chill.
I imagine that's kind of, like, scary, though, coming from, like, I would imagine his face, like, if he's that, you know, pale and shocked, like, I imagine it's kind of worse if he's, like, monotone in this particular situation.
Sure.
Yeah, she says, right, well, that's something. We need to try to find the others. I don't know where they went, but it doesn't seem like they're in a better situation than us.
I did hear a large explosion.
So did I.
Why don't we check that out first?
Can you walk? Are you okay? I mean, obviously not, but...
My arm hurts pretty bad, but I can still walk, so...
Here. Callista, like, kind of puts an arm around his waist and kind of, like, standing on the side of his good arm, kind of, like, tries to help him up to his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You are gonna, if you don't fix that, you're gonna have you're gonna be suffering -1 harm, routinely.
I do have medic. Can I use that on myself, or do I need Callista's help?
You probably need Callista's help, but doesn't mean you can't.
Yeah, I could help.
Yeah.
Could I roll to help out?
Yeah.
Nice, okay.
Would I roll 2, or?
You're gonna have to roll for medic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you'll need to roll, and you got a +1.
Oh. Don't disregard. I didn't +1 that.
It's too late. Well,
I'd say it's a 10.
I mean, if it's a 10, then what did you get? What did you get on the medic roll with a 10?
I rolled a 9.
No, with a 10, what would you get on a 10? Like, would you suffer? Sorry, would you heal?
2 harm.
Okay, yeah, you can heal 2 harm, and your arm is reset. So, Callista's gonna have to fully reset your joint.
Oof. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
I imagine that she does the thing. Like, okay. I think she knows some medical things from her time with Paola, so she knows for a fact that is going to be painful as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of, like, helps him brace for it and does the thing where she doesn't really give him a ton of warning, so it, like, you know, shocks him more than it hurts, you know?
Yeah.
Is that better?
I think you set the bone back, so thank you.
You're gonna. I think it's fair that if someone had that joint reset, you're probably gonna pass out for a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's one of the most uncomfortable
I think
things.
you did
And
it.
then I pass out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you reset the joint, Callista, and now I'm going to pass out.
Yeah, Flebs says, I think you got it, thanks. And then she immediately passes out. She's like, oh shit. She's like catches it.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of helps him back down to the ground and Oh, do I have Capri with me?
Yeah, he's probably been
Fuck,
hiding.
he'd probably be more fucking helpful than me in this situation.
He's probably been
Okay.
hiding in your hair, or like maybe in like your outfit.
Okay. She'll kind of
He pokes
I
his
feel
head
like
out. He's
she'll-
like, "Is it safe to come out yet?"
for now, yes. What do I do with him? I don't know. I'm not a healer.
You will need to put him somewhere safe while he recovers. He is out of danger, but his arm will need time.
Okay.
You should also check on Wendy and the one known as Ballista.
Yes. Yes. I wish I could just take it, but I can't go back to Lady Death's Garden right now. I have to stay here and help the others. I don't know where they are. But something is wrong.
What do you mean?
There was an explosion. I felt the ground shake from over here.
I can go and check.
just-
However, I believe we should look at the people in front of us first, Callista. You are amazing, but you cannot be in two places at once.
Right, okay. Callista, sort of, I think she would go over to, I think she would, go, like, turn to Wendy and, like, kind of prop both her and Flebs up against the, what remains of the dunk tank, just so
Mhm.
that they're in kind of, like, a seated position.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she, you know, evaluates that they're both stable enough to leave for a second, she'll look back to Ballista / Faye.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just assuming she's definitely dead, right? I'm just assuming she's dead.
I mean, you'd need to go over and, like, take a proper inspection.
Okay, well, she's gonna do that. But, like, really hesitantly.
Mm-hmm.
Is that another sharp, I guess?
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, you could investigate, or yeah, whichever way you want to do it.
Yeah,
And Capri is obviously there with you as well.
okay. Yeah, I guess if I investigated a mystery... Yeah, I'll investigate it, but could I do flexible alternative?
Yeah. Wow. All right.
Let's go.
Okay. Well, I guess the first question I want to know is if she's dead or not.
No.
Okay.
Here's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
The neck is like twisted, and as you're standing over it, it resets itself and snaps round.
Mm-hmm.
And the eyes open up, and Ballista looks at you and tilts her head and says, well, there are worse ways to wake up than being in between the legs of a beautiful woman.
Callista, I imagine that she was kind of leaning over her, trying to see if she was breathing, trying to figure out, just in her sort of awkward way, whether or not she was still alive. So she jolts backwards.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's all right. You won. Fair and square, I guess. But, I have a job to do, and it seems like you're not willing to do your part, so that's why I thought I might scare you into action.
What are you talking about, my part?
It's a fractal hunt, honey. I'm a void. Kinda need to do what needs to be done. I mean, look at you. God damn, look at you, honey. Dita Von Teese, eat your heart out. And you're in your eldritch form, like still. And the energy is beginning to pulsate around you. And Ballista looks at you and says, it is fascinating to see one of my own. Look, just like you. And you don't even know how to control it yet. Oh, the things I could do with you with enough time. But you're still not willing to pull the trigger, so I'm bored. And while Faye is sleeping, I get to go and have some fun. So how about we rematch in a little bit? And maybe you'll find the balls necessary to do what you need to do. Okay?
Are you saying you want me to kill her?
I'm saying you should try. Because if you want to get rid of me, you're gonna need to.
I'm not doing that. There will
Okay.
be another way.
Of course there will. I'm sure there was another way the last time you made that choice.
Not only did I vow to protect Faye, but I promised that I would make sure you were all right as well. You were asked after, you know.
Oh?
Yes. Babylon wanted to make sure you were all right. It's a shame I had to tell him that you left him there with Faye.
Are you trying to manipulate her, like to kind of let her guard down?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah?
I don't really know. I'm not like trying to get information out of her necessarily, but Callista's just
Oh,
trying
it's
to
more, yeah, it's more of a, that's what I'm saying.
appeal to her
Yeah,
humanity a bit.
yeah, okay.
So do I have to roll for that?
It's a manipulate someone roll.
Okay. I'm not good at those.
Okay.
Okay. Fair.
She smirks and says, that bozo. I do miss the dream team. You know, Callista, there are rules and consequences to everything, even for someone like me. And as a void, I have to do my part. And as a fractal, Faye has to do hers. And if we don't play our parts, bad things will happen to us. And her eyes, like, she moves them, like, really quickly, like, to the entranceway, and moves them back to you. So perhaps the next time you can do your part, and we can have a good match. And maybe Jericho can bring you along as well. You can bring Jericho along as well. And her eyes, like, widening, like up and down, like eyebrows dancing.
To take the fractal.
come to the fun house when you're ready. And we'll talk then. And she disappears into a puddle beneath her.
Yeah, Callista watches her go, and then she takes a second to like curse under her breath, and then she turns back to Flebs and Wendy.
Okay.
And Capri, and says, we need to get them away from this.
I agree. What do you propose?
Well, we know the tent's not safe. Do you think we could get them to the spaces in between from here?
I think he'd probably need to roll manipulate someone to see if he could.
Okay.
Okay.
Nope, didn't make that one this time.
He thinks for a moment and says, I really hate to let you down because I live for your approval, but unfortunately, that is not possible. I can keep an eye on them and keep them safe as best I can, but we are in the middle of nowhere, and I have detected that there is a magical barrier around the Dusklight circus. It is no longer possible to leave.
Of course it's not.
Callista, you should be aware that your energy levels are beginning to spike. I am concerned you will lose yourself soon.
Well, let's hope that if I do, someone will know how to point me in the right direction.
That is not a funny joke. I do not want to lose you. I do not know what I would do.
Callista leans down and picks up her scythe from where it was on the ground. And then she straightens up again and says, it wasn't a joke, Capri. I will do what needs to be done here, but something tells me we can't stop fighting yet. Is there a way that you can get back in contact with me if something happens to you or Flebs or Wendy?
You are telepathically linked to me, Callista. Simply think of me and put your thoughts out there and I will find them.
Then I'll go look for the others. And I suppose we'll see what happens.
Good luck, Callista. Do you have the plushie?
Well, it's in my pocket dimension, so always.
Please use it if you feel you are getting overwhelmed.
If it is between getting overwhelmed and the lives of my friends here, I really would rather deal with those consequences myself. But I'll remember that.
Okay. Alright, let's go over to Jimmy real quick. Jimmy, you're still sat in the waiting room. And your ticket is called. And all 3 colors come up on your ticket stub. And Paint says, "Ah, man, that looks like it's defective. I don't think you can go through all 3, but maybe you can take a peek."
You know, Paint, I think you may be right. I don't think I can go all 3 ways. But I'll take your advice on this, and I'll take a peek into each door. I will start at the door. Shoot. Hold on 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I will start off by going to the door that goes down.
Okay. We'll do these based on, do you think sharp or weird? What do you think's fairer?
I would say probably sharp, because like I know I'm looking, so I'd think that would be the best roll for it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. Wow. This is the one going down. Jimmy, when you look through the one going down, you can peek through the door and you feel your entire being consumed with the rage. It is almost imperceptible once you pull your head away. You don't even remember. But every enemy you've ever made lurks down there. And you don't know why, but you feel like someone that you loved was killed. And the thing that killed them is in that room. And it takes everything within you. You're actually digging into the sides of the walls to not jump through that door. But you eventually are able to hold yourself back. And Payne Gungerson says, "Oh yeah, Pain Hell's a weird one. There's no it's not really suffering. It's more like just bad vibes. You know what I'm saying?"
I do, Paint, but also I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. Yeah, Paint Satan's certainly a weird one, but you know, he had some good ideas. I get it.
Jimmy will walk over to the door to go up.
Okay. Go for it. Give me a roll. Wow, 12. 13 and a 12. Yeah. You, push open the doors, and, at the end of a pretty long, hallway is an open-planned, like, mezzanine area. And you can see a bunch of people having a dinner party. And it's weird. It's like an out-of-body experience. You're still standing at the door, but it's almost like the camera that is your eyes is just moving forward further and further. And you can make out a few people sitting at the table. The first 2 are your mother and father. Next to them is your hunting friend. Next to him is Margot. And opposite Margot is Tracy. And there's other people in there that you barely recognize, but you remember. And they're all holding up glasses of wine, Chardonnay, and toasting to each other. And it's very jovial and pleasant. But they're not inviting you in. They're not saying, "Come and sit down." They're smiling at you and laughing with each other, but not one of them is inviting you. And there's no seat at the table for you. You don't feel like you'd be turned away if you went there, but you also get the impression that it's not for you yet.
Okay, Jimmy will step back and close the door.
Oh yeah, that's pain. What was that? Pain heaven, I guess. Pain heaven's kind of strange. For me, it's well, a couple times I've done it. Paint strip club. That one was weird. You'd think it'd be, nice looking men and women and covered in paint being sexual, but no, it's paint cans. It's paint cans doing the rounds on paint poles, and I didn't go to work for a while after that. That gave me a bit of an existential crisis. But other times, my papa was there. That was nice. We shared some paint, talked for a while. It's easy to get lost in that one.
I can see why, Paint. It was... the things that I love was there, but it didn't feel like that is where I should be going at this time. So Jimmy will walk over to the last door and open and look inside.
Okay. 10. Wow, you just don't do bad sharp rolls, do you? You see
Unfair.
yeah, it is unfair. You see your rage self currently destroying all the cages in real time in the Dusklight circus. You're riddled with shrapnel and you are bleeding heavily. And you are not in the regular rage state, you're in the advanced rage state, and you're smashing everything. The cages, any of the bystanders, it's just a mess. The only thing you're not smashing, and it's not conscious, is that is Jericho and Fala, and Eustace. Everything else is being destroyed. But you know instinctively that if you don't get back there in your right mind soon, you're going to end up smashing them. Accidentally.
Jimmy will step through the door, and I would guess as the door is closing, you would turn back and look at Paint Gunkerson and say, "Thank you, Paint. It was always a pleasure."
Aw, it's okay, buddy. Yeah, I really wish we had more time, Jimmy.
I do as well, Paint, but right now time is of the essence.
No, I don't think you understand, Jimmy. I said we were in purgatory. How can I be here if this is purgatory? I'm really cold, Jimmy. I'm really cold. And the room darkens, and you see the visage of an anglerfish beginning to transform the room. And Paint Gunkerson is growing very, very pale. And he just keeps saying he's cold.
Can I try and catch the door before it closes all the way?
And as you see the doors closing, the lure of an anglerfish like brightens up in front of you, and the last thing you see is a pair of jaws snapping down and enveloping the room that you were once in, and your world goes dark. Okay. Jericho.
Yes.
You are just coming round, and you are hearing the sounds of your ears ringing because your eardrums have been burst. Violence all around the circus, smashing, roaring. It's a pretty overstimulating situation. And the knowledge of what's just gone on in your dream state is, you know, carrying over into the real world as well. So there's a lot of different emotions hitting you. What do you want to do?
Assessing situation, like, are the hunting club and Damos still, like, within sight and present?
You would
As
have to
well
roll
as-
for that.
Gotcha. Not roll to, like, assess my surroundings, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Just a flat, sharp roll, you think?
I think maybe a read a bad situation, actually. Maybe it'd be better.
Gotcha.
Wow, 11. Holy shit. Okay, are you doing from the set of questions, or are you doing a flexible alternative?
Flexible alternative, and the first question I'll ask you. I feel weird to ask myself what's going on here. Okay, I'll ask myself where's Damos, or like, do I see Damos?
Damos is standing on top of the effigy of the creature. Like you were in front of this massive carriage I mentioned before, and he is just kind of like just watching with great amusement as someone's smashing all around the little area that you're in. So that's the first thing it says. Damos is there.
And second question, I guess the second question is, can I see the other nightmare detectives, or where are Fala and Jimmy?
Jimmy is nowhere to be seen. Fala is face down, beginning to stir. She has shrapnel all across her left leg.
As she's waking up, is it possible for me to, is it possible for me to like start like healing like any harm she would have taken? Like say,
Sure.
you like magically removing the shrapnel.
Yeah.
That's what Jericho like do.
Yeah, give me a roll. Okay, 7. And how much do you heal on a 7?
I believe it's 1. Let me just make sure real quick. 1.
Okay. You can stabilize like the bleeding and stuff, but yeah, just give her a one heal. That's fine. As you do that, Jericho, Damos notices you and says, I see you're back and awake. Well, take a moment, Mr. Jericho Branch. Your friend is currently going apeshit, and if you're ready, we can get on the next level of this fractal hunt. But, oh, you really aren't doing so good, are you?
Yeah, I've had worse days.
Fala, you're just waking up as Jericho's healing you, so you take that 1 harm off. And now you've just taken 2 harm instead. What would you like to do?
Nice. Fala wants to specifically try to identify where Jimmy is and how far, like, how close or far away he is, I guess.
Okay.
Because if I'm kind of waking up and I can hear Jericho and Damos, then I guess I'd be looking at least for. So, hey. That'd be just a bad situation. Or no?
No, I think it'd just be a sharp roll, because you're trying to ascertain where Jimmy is.
Sweet.
Okay.
Oof.
You can hear him, but you can't see him. He is smashing all around you, Fala.
Okay.
And that's about all you're gonna get right now. Jimmy, you are wrecking shit around you at the moment, and we're gonna try and resolve that in a minute. But Callista, I think it's only fair you kind of go next. You round the corner And I want a tough roll from you because this is about... sorry, a cool roll, excuse me. This is about whether you can keep your composure when you see the carnage in front of you.
Okay. Jimmy, this might be our dual rage moment.
Okay. You can.
Maybe not.
On a 9, you can. But the abilities that you have are beginning to become more volatile. Like your wings are getting bigger. Your claws and your fingers are getting sharper. You're growing a little bit taller. You're becoming more and more eldritch. And your voice is getting gravelier. You see Jericho just an absolute mess on the floor. Fala bleeding next to him. Eustace is not moving on the ground. Jimmy is smashing cages open, and Damos is above clapping and jumping around. And you make eye contact with Azathoth, who it just shakes his head.
Oh no. And
I mean, he'll talk to you if you want him to, but the whole point is not intervening. But he looks at what's going on there, and he doesn't look happy. There's none of them are like laughing about this. They're not like making fun of. They're all either worried or disappointed.
Disappointed is the worst one.
Yeah, Azathoth in particular just is giving you a look that suggests you're better than this. You particularly.
What did I do? You mean like losing control?
I don't know.
Oh man.
You can ask him.
Fuck, I'm such a people pleaser.
You can ask him.
I'm trying to decide if Callista would. Yeah. I think she gets Okay, given her state of mind right now, this might be a bad idea. I think she would get a little defensive. Like, I imagine her looking at him and meeting his eyes, and he shakes his head like that, and she you know, is standing there surveying the scene, and she looks back at him and says, "What would you have us do?"
Give me a manipulate hunter roll. Maybe he'll give you something valuable.
Oh, is that like a... Oh, no, it's not. Okay, never mind, sorry.
7. Will you do it if I tell you to do it?
If we're able to. But is this not a difficult situation to be in? I mean, you see that, right?
All situations involving Sturgeon are difficult to be in. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here at all. I'll ask you one more time. You ask me what we should do, and I'll tell you if you're willing to do it. Otherwise, stop wasting my time and do your fucking job. Your friends are bleeding on the floor, and you're standing here trying to please me.
Oh man, I think when she asked that, it was more like it wasn't like a please help us, what should we do? It was more like a what are we supposed to do right now in this fucked up sort of scenario. So she just, oh man. She says, fine. As long as it's not killing someone I care about, I'll do it.
He nods and says, "Don't be immature. Of course you don't have to kill someone you care about. What you need to do is harness those emotions and stop being afraid of what you are. So get angry, Callista. Get really fucking angry."
Oh, so it is a rage moment. Okay. Okay.
And he, for a moment, just for a moment, he clicks his fingers and he changes. And Callista, he looks so much like you. His skin is a shimmering black that actually has like a tint to it. And there's a galaxy moving around on his bald head that is permeated by these beautiful flashes and swirls. His eyes are bright white with flecks of green. And he has these bat-like wings protruding out of his back. And he switches back again and sighs and says, "Take it from someone who knows."
Callista kind of looks at him for a second. And then she turns her attention up to Damos. And she says, like, kind of to herself, like, kind of under her breath, she says, "Angry. I can do angry."
Okay.
And
Give
then
me...
yeah,
go on.
I want
Yeah?
to say, I want her to, like, launch up to attack him.
Well, I want you to give me a weird roll first.
Okay.
Because I might risk copyright claim. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna risk a copyright claim real quick. And you're going for Damos?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause fuck that guy.
Alright.
That's what I've been saying.
Alright. Callista, you grit your teeth and you dig into the ground and you let every bit of your energy push through you that you've been holding back for this whole time, this concern, this stigma of being what you are. And as it flows through you, it's almost intoxicating as you feel the full gamut of this eldritch power rush through your body. And you push off, and you create such a divot in the ground as you rush towards Damos, who has just enough time to put out a gravity barrier that holds you back as you are face to face. You actually headbutt him, and there is blood running down both your foreheads as he grins and says, "Oh, that's more like it. Okay. Let's see what you can do." And
Okay.
he is going to pull a move out first. And for the purposes of this scene, it's going to be you, Jericho, and Damos. So, Jericho, I want you to think about what move you're going to want to do, because you're going to have a moment of opportunity in a minute. Okay, a 10. He channels the gravity energy. He lets it go, and you float forward, and he ducks down, and he hits you in the stomach with a gravity orb that sends you up. But it only does one harm.
Okay.
And you gotta sort of you go up and see it to dispel it, and he has this grin in his eyes, and he says, "Okay, let's go." And he jumps off the car and goes towards you. Jericho, while this is going on, what do you do?
Jericho will in this moment. I think he would try and to like channel some of the Stormbringer and
So you're specifically on Stormbringer,
okay.
right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then what was going to say? Actually, if it's okay, what?
Can Jericho like start getting the boltcaster ready, or?
So you wanna roll for the boltcaster?
Yes.
Okay. So I believe it's for you. We do a weird roll to set it up, right, to allow for it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. So give me a weird roll first. Wow, 13. Yeah, on a 13, you get to a knee, and tell me how this looks as you set it up.
So after hitting Fala, after seeing Callista charge Damos, Jericho will lower the brim of his hat. The plates on his metal arm all snap back with quite a bit of force, like sparks and OC fly from the metal, and he does get on one knee and starts to aim the arm at Damos.
Okay. And are you're going for a shot with intent, correct?
Yes.
All right. Give me a weird roll. And let's see how far this charge goes. And then Callista, I want to see what you're going to do at the same time as a tandem offense move.
Okay.
So what would you like to do while he's charging you? So you see this as you're in the air and he's flying up towards you, and your right eye, so your left eye catches Jericho charging this move up. What do you want to do?
So I'm suspended in the air, right? Like, can I control how I move in the air or no?
Well, yeah, you've got wings.
I guess that's true. Well, I just mean, like, is he holding me there?
No, you were being thrown up by a gravity ball, which you've like, pushed off of you now.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure he wasn't, like, keeping me in place.
No.
Okay. Can I... Okay. Would I be able to, harness some of the energy Jericho's creating in my scythe and kind of dive down to meet Damos and use it on him?
So you want to cleave him while Jericho's prepping to fire, or?
I kind of... Yeah, I mean, if I don't know if I could control... I don't know how much I could control the timing on this, but, like, just so that we sort of, like, hit at the same time, I suppose. Either that, or I can hit Damos and kind of, like, push him into the attack Jericho's making.
Okay. Give me the roll and we'll see how it looks.
Okay. Watch me fail it now. Is that kick some ass?
It would be. And then Jericho, give me your weird roll. All right.
Oh my god.
Okay, so let's do Callista's first. Callista, he's still coming up towards you. What do you do?
Yeah, I do want to dive down.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I want to use my scythe on him, but like
Okay.
really using the energy I'm taking from flying down toward him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then if I can in any way like work with Jericho's attack, then I want to do that. But I don't know how that's gonna
Okay.
come in at the same time.
We'll say that you fly down and you use the scythe and you cleave across his back, and he falls down into the trajectory of Jericho's boltcaster, which is charged up. And Jericho, you fire it, and it isn't quite as strong as it normally would be. And it goes off mark. It still hits him, but it doesn't get the full brunt of it. And Callista, you're able to just get out of the way. And I know what Damos does here, so let me see how we can... Okay. Damos, let's get the roll first, actually. Because I think that would do, like, significant harm. Like, Callista, you normally do 3 harm with that, right?
Yes.
So you do 6 on that, and Jericho, God, the upper limits of the boltcaster are like 12. I think again you do 6.
Yeah.
So you've both just done 12 harm in one shot. And Damos isn't able to save.
Yes.
Damos can't save. He takes the shot full on, and it rips through his barrier, and he goes flying, and he drops, and he goes into the roof of the carriage he was standing on. Makes a terrible divot. And Jimmy, you are still raging. We need to resolve that.
Yeah. So I was kind of raging while I was, in the spectral plane, correct? So I'm.
You were seeing when you went to the side door. You were looking at real time. You were watching yourself
real
raging.
time, yes, but I was not not myself.
No.
Then.
No.
All right. So I think what I would like to think or do, or if I have to roll whatever, is as the doors closed and it went black, and then Jimmy would open his eyes, and I would be back in my right mind, because Fala had calmed me down originally.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would I would come back, and I wouldn't be full on raging anymore. As I come back to with a clear mind.
Okay, I have an idea as well. Yeah. Oh my goodness. As you come back to your mind, you feel a shot to the balls as Wendy is in front of you, and she's hit you with everything she got, and she sees that you've already come back to your mind, so it's kind of like a pointless endeavor. But she does it, and she winks and says, "Gotcha, bitch." And she slumps to the side and falls down.
Jimmy falls down beside her.
Fala, now that part of the dust has settled here, what would you like to do?
Can I see Wendy and Jimmy?
I don't know.
Are they close?
I think they're close by. I think they're close by, for sure.
Okay. Can I... Yeah, I'd like to go over there and I guess assess Wendy first. Yeah. Unless... Yeah, I guess Fala's first instinct would be to make sure that people on the ground are okay.
Okay. Yeah, what would you like to roll for that?
I guess it'd be read a bad situation.
Okay.
Or...
All right.
Let's do it. Oh my god.
Perfect. We will resolve that in a minute.
Perfect.
I hate
Flebs.
I hate that.
Flebs, I don't want to leave you out of this for
So
the end of this session because I feel bad, although you did just have your arm reset. Is there anything you would like to do before we move to the end scene?
I don't know. I mean, I could try and like get up and walk around at least. I don't know.
Okay. Why don't you give me a
Nothing
tough
in
roll, and
particular.
we'll see if you can get over there to join everybody.
No.
No. I mean...
You got a cheer.
Experience we're getting though.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no. It's yeah. It's just too much. We'll have something. Well, I will make sure, Flebs, you have more to do on the next session. I promise. I apologize for the game. For the game, I guess.
You don't have to say sorry for my rolls. That's my fault.
All right. We are gonna wrap up in a second, but Jericho, Callista, what do you guys doing right now? I should say.
God, I feel like we should high five. That was awesome.
True.
So Damos is in the carriage now.
He is currently embedded in it, like he's made a massive hole in the like in the carriage.
I almost want to think. I just want to say like I want to roll to investigate. To see if he's like knocked out or if he's like just sitting in it.
Okay. You can.
I think that's at least one question, right?
Let me have a look. Sorry. Yeah, it's one question. What's your question, Jericho?
On a roll level, can you do an alternative, flexible alternative question instead of like the normal ones?
Let's have a look. Yeah. On a 7 to 9 general question, based on how you're investigating, I will tell you honestly and with reasonable detail what you discover.
Oh, okay. Question is Damos incapacitated?
Okay. Here's what happens. Callista, give me a weird roll. At the same time I explain this. Okay. There is an explosion of energy that comes from the divot, and an orb comes out, and it cracks open, and you see the exact same version of Damos that you saw that nearly beat you to death in the Dream Team safe house. Its head is bowed and the horns have grown, and it is swirling with the energy of the boltcaster, and it rises into the air. And Callista, even if you instinctively tried to hit it, your scythe is bouncing off. And its teeth are gritted, and those bright white eyes look down, and the teeth turn to a grin. And Damos says, "Oh, I've been waiting for this. And it looks like you've grown enough that we can do this properly. So let's dispense with the riffraff. You, me, Fractal Hunt. We need a change of scenery." And he holds both his hands out to either side. And just because of the close proximity, Callista, you and Jericho are taken to a null space with Damos, who puts his hands in the exact same position they were in that previous fight. and he begins charging another energy ball. Now mixed in with the eldritch energy you gave him and the boltcaster energy. And he says, "Thank you for the boost of energy, but I think you can have it back now."